From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
It's a big midday here on LALATE with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this recording, we'll go over that monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon, a done deal. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you under this fourth stimulus recon. I'll go over the incredible great news in the second half of this video. Then the voting, the pass, and the recon. We'll go over why it's going to happen sooner than initially thought, why the path is easier than initially believed, and what's the breaking news on both of these two fronts at noontime. Then we cut to FIS stimulus, which raises your benefits up if you're on SSI and SSDI. It's just a few days away to start its path. And then we cut to the big money across the board as viewers getting $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. And you're going to meet one viewer today who got over $50,000 and another viewer who got nearly $100,000 from this channel. It's your day to get this big money. I'm excited for you with the breaking news on the big money, and this is Noontime LALATE. Hey, good noontime, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful weekend. Congratulations, you made it to the weekend. And boy, the weather is finally better here in LA. It was miserable yesterday here Friday. If you did not notice me miserable on air, it was awful. It was very hot. It was muggy. It was like DC, Washington, DC, as though I was there. Not yet. Don't send me there yet. I can't stand that weather. But today it's better. Not perfect, but a lot better. So jump in the live chat. Tell me how the weather is, where you're tuning in from, and how your Saturday is going this midday. In this fourth stimulus check update of 2021, we'll go over that monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon, the biggest single payout ever seen in the history of this channel. $3.5 trillion of checks coming to you, all walks of life, seniors, workers, and everyone else. You're all getting checks, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 across the board. I'll go over all the details in the second half of this video. Then we cut to the two-path process and the voting. The voting will be sooner and the voting will be easier than initially thought. I'll go over what's breaking at noontime in the latest news. Then we cut to FIS stimulus, which raises your benefits up a lifetime, and that's just a few days away from now. And then we cut to the big money for rent, utilities, food, and internet that viewers are continuing to get, and you're going to meet one viewer today who got over $100,000 from this channel, and this channel is LALATE, America's only 24-hour a day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America. Live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. Coming up next is Afternoons LATE's 1 o'clock show. This video will automatically take you there when this video is over. So you don't have to lift a finger, sort of like Chuck Schumer. And then there's a new Afternoons LATE at 3 o'clock, then a new Evenings LATE at 5 o'clock. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Let's get right into that monthly stimulus check. Senate versus House, House versus Senate. Going over the number of checks and going over the number of payments, starting right now. They both approach the situation with a monthly stimulus check, but a different number of checks based upon which one you're looking at. The Senate is a monthly stimulus check, and so is the House with different payouts. Let's go over all the details, starting right now. House, pandemic plus 1 year. Senate, July to December. Let's go over the payouts. House, $1,000 a month after the first month. Senate, unknown, but word on the street is the Senate would pay you this. Deliciousness over 6 months, $2,000, $12,000, or $1,400 over 6 months, $8,400. When you look at the payments, though, House versus Senate, a lot of major twists across the board, as all indications are that the pandemic is far from over. A lot of breaking new data today, including the approval now, overnight, of the third shot, the booster shot, which is recommended to be only Moderna. That is now at issue. That means that the House would likely pay pandemic plus 1 year, which would be more than 12 checks. which would be more than 1 year, which under the House bill would be more than $13,000. Compare that to this and the Senate. I think you have an opinion. I think you have an opinion. Vote it House or Senate in the live chat right now. And tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. Who gets the fourth stimulus check? The Democrats represent that. If you got a third, you're going to get a fourth. Single individuals, 75,000 or less, Democrats represent, they're giving you one. Married couple, 150,000 or less, Democrats represent, you're getting one. Double it. Family of four, Democrats represent that if you are family of four, you're getting one as well. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, VA, or multiple beneficiaries, Democrats represent, you're getting a fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check is not income. It's not taxable. The fourth stimulus check will be the same amount for adult dependents and everyone else. And the fourth stimulus check's not a waivable check. So if you do go to the beach this weekend and if you own your own YouTube channel, do not get tricked into waving at the check on camera because that check will not wave back at you. Hey, check, don't fall for it. Don't wave. Hey, check, do not wave back. Rude check. Don't show on camera that you're angry at the check because the check doesn't wave back. It's also a rude check. In the second half of this video, we'll heat up with the fourth stimulus recon, $3.5 trillion of checks, and I'm so excited for you. The viewers of this channel, the Purple Hawks, finally are grasping and pouncing, hawk, as a hawk, to realize that the fourth stimulus package will be the single biggest payout of money to them across the board, as Purple Hawks are now getting anywhere from $5,000 to $100,000 under third stimulus. That's application-based, and fourth stimulus is predominantly application-based. And now Purple Hawks are ready to pounce and get these tens of thousands of dollars under fourth stimulus that's coming to the American people. I'll have all the details of that. Then we cut to the voting process, faster and quicker and easier than initially thought. The breaking news you're going to hear in the final 15 minutes of this video, stay at the very end. And then we turn to fifth stimulus, which is just a few days away, as this raises your benefits up for SSI and SSD. I have the latest news on that. But first, let's get some money. Let's get some rent, utilities, internet, mortgage assistance, and also SNAP. Get a pen and paper ready because we're going to get it together as a family starting right now. First, when we turned to rent, I said I can get you 4 to 6 months of rent. Well, I was wrong. Viewers are now getting far more months. And I also said I can get you $5,000 of rent. I was also wrong. Viewers are getting a lot more than $5,000. How much more are they getting? Are you ready? Here we go. Bam. $27,000. Elizabeth, a Purple Hawk, is getting for rent from this channel. Mark, as a Purple Hawk and a viewer of this channel, got $25,000 for rent. He told his neighbors about this channel, said, watch this kid. He is the real deal. And they are getting $20,000 for rent right now. Nancy getting $24,000 for rent. Richard, $22,000. Nisi, $20,000. Viewers are sending me DMs on social media around the clock. Gonzalez sent me one 2 days ago, got $8,000 for rent here in California. If you got any of these monies, send me a DM on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Let's see some of the messages coming in. Pamela got $12,000 for rent. Carla got utilities and SNAP. Tiffany got $13,000 for rent, she tells me, and also SNAP and utilities. Randy got $6,000 for rent, he tells me, and also $2,000 for utilities. Jennifer got $5,000 for rent and other items, she tells me. And Cecilia got $1,200 for HEAP. That's a heap of HEAP. And then we turn to utilities as we're talking about HEAP. And guess what? Viewers are getting more than a couple $100 for HEAP. Here are a couple $100 for utilities. Are you ready? Let's see the deliciousness. Bam. Wow. Nancy getting $7,000 for utilities as a Purple Hawk. Hawk. Mark getting $6,500 as a Purple Hawk. Angela, $5,000 for utilities. And then SNAP, which is money for food. Money for your food. Can we see the deliciousness of this? The deliciousness of the food. It's not a couple $100. It's bam. $18,000 gotten by Louie for SNAP as a viewer of this channel. Purple Hawk. John got $10,000 to $12,000 for SNAP. Nancy, $5,000. And are you ready for the triple crown? I don't mean horse racing. I mean people who got 3 of the items covered on this channel. 1, 2, 3. Are you ready? Here we go. OMG, Nancy, congratulations. $32,000 she got for rent, utilities, and SNAP. Nisi getting rent, utilities, and SNAP. 3 items, $23,000. And Mark, $32,000 for 2 items. What do you mean 2 items? This is the triple crown. Wait a second, how did Mark slide in there? Mark, you got 2 items, you got 32,000. Well, over a week, I joked on air. I'm like, Mark, you only got $32,000 for 2 items. What are you doing? And I checked and I realized, oh, he didn't get Snap. Snap is easy. That's why it's called Snap. It's a Snap. Mark, go get Snap, I said, for a week on camera. Go get Snap. It is easy eligibility. And so he did. And I said, you know what? I love the number 40,000. It just sort of rolls off your mouth. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. There's so many zeros on it. I said, Mark, go get $8,000 for Snap. You'll get 40,000. Well, Mark got Snap. Do you think he got 8,000? Do you think he got less? You know, maybe he got less. Well, Mark came back to us and he reveals he got more than 8,000. He got more than $8,000 for Snap. How much did Mark get for Snap? He got $19,000 annualized for Snap, bringing his grand total to $50,500. My goodness, congratulations, Mark. Congratulations to all of you. And this is LALATE. This is what I've been doing since day one, and we're getting even hotter by the minute. In spring of last year, I launched this channel because people had applied for the EIDL loan and EIDL grant. It was locked up in the application process, not getting approved, in what I called a 330, 331 vortex. My vortex viewers and also my 4/8s getting locked up. So what did I do? On camera, I figured out how to get their applications approved. Off camera, I was doing applications in the middle of the night with just 100 subscribers, getting $25 million of EIDL loans approved in the next few weeks, saving their businesses, their homes, and their employees' homes. In fall of 2020, we had a similar problem. Second stimulus was not coming. It wasn't coming. So I stepped forward and I got viewers rent. $250,000 of rent. Tyrone and his family of 4 out of Boston got $16,000 of rent, paid all their rent from December to the middle of next year. And now we're doing it again. The only difference is you. As a Purple Hawk, you now realize that there are massive sums of money available that are application-based in these stimulus packages, namely now the third. And while you just saw Mark get $50,500, getting higher than we had seen anything before, we actually now have a higher number on top of that. I introduce you Lorraine, who got $105,640,000 for rent into the future, into future years, food and additional monies. And this is how we do it as Purple Hawks, Purple Power, and LALATE. Get the pen and paper ready. Today is your day to get that money as well. We're going to get some rent, utilities, food, mortgage, and homeowners utilities starting right now. I'm going to show you the following details, but first, here's some introductory remarks. First, each place has their own eligibility. Reach out to each. If you get a no, reach out to the next. Number 2, each place has their own pot of money. So if one says no, reach out to the next. Number 3, there is not a single place that doesn't exist. So if you're in a state, there's no state that's not paying. Viewer the other day said, Mississippi's not paying. In the live chat, there were 5 other people from Mississippi who got it from Mississippi, and they showed the viewer that Mississippi's paying. Also, there is no place that disqualifies you. So, for example, SSI, there's always a random person says, the SSI, you can't get anything. Untrue. There's always a random person says, I'm not behind on my rent, I can't get anything. Untrue. Keep on applying, because guess what? This is what Purple Power is winning with. And get that pen and paper ready. I'm going to show you the big places. Also listen for the keywords viewers tell me. It really helps them get approved. You ready? We're going to reach out to the following 6 places. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. And there you go. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. Keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. That's all you say. There you go. You don't say words they don't know, like stimulus or Ron Portman's wonderful career as a disco dancer. They don't know that. They don't want to know that. And there you go. If you got money for rent or utilities, post in the live chat right now. Tim and Linda got this wonderful pot of money. The next pot of the money is SNAP. What is SNAP? SNAP is money for food. How do you get it? Department of Agriculture. Eligibility, it's easier than a stimulus check. Why would you not get it? Lynn Glenn got it for herself and her son and mom. Gail got it as well. And John got 10 to 12,000. Louis got 18,000. Mark got 19,000. How much does it pay? A fortune. A family of 4 out of Hawaii gets upwards of $16,000 a year. Why so much money? Because of 2 wonderful executive orders, one from Biden, one from Trump, that raise your benefits up 15% nationally between now and December. So go get it. If you got SNAP, post in the live chat, and we're killing it. You're killing it. We're only 14 minutes of this video, and we've got to $27,000 for rent. We've gotten $9,000 for utilities. That's Purple Hawks. And we've gotten $19,000 for SNAP, and we're just getting started. The next part of the money is the refund check coming back from your state due to overpayment of unemployment and a computer error. Not your computer, theirs. Where's the LALATE direct deposit? Contact your state to track it. And when you contact them, say, hey, state, where is that check due to overpayment and computer error? And when you track it this time, can you turn the computer on? Sorry, sir, I can't find anything. Did you turn the computer on? Oh, no, I didn't. And then finally, the last refund check is the one coming back from your IRS. This is the refund of the unemployment benefits you paid taxes on 2020. Margaret got it, Todd got it, Michael got it. And guess what? Close your ears, Mitch. It's a waivable check. Yeah, I know that hurts your ears, Mitch. You hate those words. IRS reports as a waivable check, a new waive every week for direct deposit and also paper check. The average payout is about $1,200. More about that in a second. But first, here's a personal message and a new personal message at noontime. First, if you're on the live chat and you've not posted your success stories for rent, utilities, food, please do. I'm really excited for you. Why? Because I now see the momentum that viewers have now realized. That second stimulus was a $600 stimulus check. Yeah, but people got $6,000 from LA. That third stimulus was a $14 stimulus check. But yeah, but people are getting $30,000 from the other items that are application-based in here. $40,000, $50,000. People are now realizing, as viewers of this channel, Purple Hawks, that, yeah, there's always a stimulus check floating around, but the big money is application-based. And I'm so excited because so many of you now are seeing these big numbers. So the first thing that's great for you to post your success stories in the live chat is you inspire other people to get these big sums of money. You're inspiring people to realize, wait a second, I did not know I can get utilities of $7,000. I have a water bill. I need to pay my water bill. I did not know I can get you rent, and I did not know I can get in the past, and I can get in the future, and I did not know I can get enormous sums of money. There's always a person who says, I thought, my rent was $1,200 a month. I thought I can't get rent paid because I paid too much for rent. No, untrue. I thought I can't get rent because I'm on SSI. No, untrue. And now people are realizing, wait a second, these Purple Hawks are really laser focused on getting these big sums of money in these stimulus packages. They're getting enormous sums of money. Number two, it inspires people to understand that there's sums of money that they may have never heard of. A lot of people have never heard of SNAP until they found this channel. Larry Maui never did. He got $500 for himself just in Hawaii per month. And then you realize that there's a combo. You can get the Triple Crown. You can get $30,000 like Nancy and Nisi did. And finally, it updates us about the money. And now we realize there's bigger sums of money. That is why the Purple Hawks are really winning, because now you're getting ready for fourth stimulus, which will be another version of this, just even bigger. Let's go back to those unemployment benefits. So where they landing, direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. Can you track it? Go to irs.gov and track your refund check. 70% of the time it works. It'll reveal the refund check you're getting, the tax return you filed, and the taxes you paid. And 70% of the time it'll reveal stuff you wish you had never seen. It'll reveal when Bernie has those mittens made in Vermont, does he have one that's called Nancy and one that's called Mitch? And then 70% of the time will reveal the refund check you're getting. And can we top that? Yes, as we go into the second part of your fourth stimulus check update of 2021, starting right now. Deal done. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people. The fourth stimulus recon procedural passed the U.S. Senate this week. This is huge. Why? Previously, we had a first stimulus package that was this big, and a second that was this big, and a third that was this big. This stimulus package is this big. It's a gazillion percent bigger. Moreover, the previous stimulus packages, 80 to 90 to almost 95% of them, were dedicated to U.S. corporations. This one, nearly all of it is for you. This is all for you. Checks of all different walks of life, mostly application-based. So as a Purple Hawk that's pouncing and getting $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 now as application based on the third stimulus, you're prepared to pounce. And I'm going to show you how to pounce when fourth stimulus becomes law. This is absolutely incredible, great news. It's why Bernie Sanders fought a generation to get all of these checks to you, and why the Republicans on the other side trash talking and say it's just a lot of checks to people across the board. Let's go over all the details of this starting right now. How do they do this? Well, they took the roads and bridges out of the recon and put into something called the bipartisan, making both bodies of legislation now passable. A conservative publication confirms my reporting. The higher the price tag was on the recon before, the harder it was to pass. There you go, confirmation. But by allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending from the recon, roads and bridges, and put it into the bipartisan, it made the price tag smaller on the recon, obviously. In other words, the bipartisan deal made the recon passable. But now they've both passed the U.S. Senate this week, recon procedural. Now, what happened next? Well, here's something that you're only going to hear on this channel, is that the Progressive Caucus was meeting with the White House daily before the voting started to ensure they got a big enough recon price tag. 3.5 trillion. That was the result of agreements between House and Senate Democrats. So when this recon lands in the House, they've already agreed upon this price. They agreed upon this price a long time ago. So it's not like they weren't part of the discussions with the Senate. Incredible, great news. Representative Richie Torres said we have to have a larger recon. You got it, pass, 3.5 trillion. And Representative Ilhan Omar says we have to have a recon that goes as big and bold as we want, pass, 3.5 trillion. The progressives were told by the president to protect the recon. Why? Because everything in the recon is checks for you, a progressive nature. Checks for this, checks for seniors, checks for workers, checks of all different types of walks of life, all generally mostly application-based. And the White House said the White House considers the progressive priorities in the recon their priorities. Incredible, great news. So what's the difference between a recon and the bipartisan? What's the difference between a recon procedural and a recon substantive? Let's go over all this. The reason why it's important for you to know is because the president has made it emphatically clear he has to have on his table in the White House both the recon, your money, and the roads and bridges, not your money, at the same time for him to sign. If only one lands there, he's not signing. So he's not going to sign the recon by itself, and he's not going to sign the roads and bridges by itself. Let's go over all the details, starting with the terminology. I just used two words on this channel, recon and bipartisan, but let's go over the other terms so you'll recognize it when you hear those terms. All right, so recon is your money, also called reconciliation, also called the budget bill. Other words used out there, the spending plan, the progressive welfare payment plan, price tag $3.5 trillion. Bipartisan, not your money, also called roads and bridges, also called infrastructure, price tag $1.5 trillion. We have three bills we're dealing with here. We're dealing with the recon procedural, then the recon substantive, and then the bipartisan, which is under the overlay graphic. Let's go over the difference of recon procedural versus recon substantive. Recon procedural passed the U.S. Senate this week. It next goes to the House of Representatives. After recon procedurals pass, then they do recon substantive. What is recon procedural? It's really simple. It's very, very basic because it really only asks two very, very simple questions. One, do you agree to do a recon at a later date at a price tag of $3.5 trillion? Yeah, I do. Okay, thank you. And then of that money, the $3.5 trillion, do you agree to give $10 to this congressional committee and $20 to that congressional committee, $30 to that congressional committee? I do. Okay, that's all we're asking. Thank you, done. So all it does is agree upon the total price tag and the amount that's to be given to congressional committees. That's it. And that is all it asks. Once the recon procedurals pass, then the committees that have been dedicated $10, $20, $30 come back and decide, okay, I got $10, this committee. How am I going to spend the $10? They draft legislation that determines how they spend it, who they spend it on, when they spend it on, and how they split it. All right, that gets to us then, how do you write a recon substantive, which is also called the recon bill? The recon bill is written by the House subcommittees. Under the Constitution, different subcommittees are delegated different subject matters. For example, House Ways and Means is responsible for writing stimulus checks and unemployment benefits. Each of those subcommittees writes what they got to write. Let's say it's 10 subcommittees writing 10 pages. They send them up to Chuck, combines it as 100 pages. He puts a big S on it. For Schumer, Laverne Shirley. No, for Senate. But here's what you're going to hear in this video. He may be putting, or she may be putting, an H on it. Why? For House, it may start on the House. More about that in a second. How do we get to this wonderful spot? By Jalapal, who recently wrote Shomer a letter saying Chuck called the vote on the recon. That letter was signed by 12 House Democrats who are part of the 100 plus who recently wrote the president a letter saying, we're going to be putting monthly fourth stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. Wow, Purple Power, you got to keep these people their promise. Can we top that? Yes. As 7 members of the House Ways and Means Subcommittee, the subcommittee we just went over, yeah, that one, that writes stimulus checks, yep, says that when we're writing the fourth stimulus recon, which is now, they're going to be putting monthly fourth stimulus checks in there. Wow, Purple Power, you got to keep these people their promise. Can we top that? We can. As Biden did it, the President of the United States 7 weeks ago today went overseas for a ceremonial signature, but the real signature was a few days ago. It's for something that's very complicated, and the great news is it's done, and it will not have to be in the recon, making the recon easier to get to law. This thing is called the Global Minimum Corporate Tax Rate Minimum. Yeah, exhausting. First, it makes it easier to write the recon because this is not in there. Easier to call the vote, easier to vote on the recon, and easier to pass the recon because this confusing thing is not in there. Can we top that? Yes. As we go into the final 15 minutes of this video with a lot of breaking news today, we're going to hear why the path will be easier than initially thought, faster than initially thought, and why the Purple Hawks, I'm so excited for you, are now more prepared to get the tens of thousands of dollars in this fourth stimulus recon for themselves, having now gotten money under third and second stimulus with this channel. I'll show you why the last 7 days has been absolutely excitement on this channel, because now you are better prepared than anyone else to get these $3.5 trillion of checks in this fourth stimulus recon. Then I cut to the fifth stimulus as well. But something more wonderful than that, the volunteers. If you've had problems finding the rent, the utilities, or internet by yourself, because always try it yourself, then reach out to the volunteers. Where do you find them? Open the description of this video. Go down the description until you find the community page. It's news.la.com/community. On the community page, the volunteers will help you get that money for rent, utilities, food, and internet. Here's a little bit about them, and I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as the breaking news heats up the final 15 minutes of this video. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on noontime LALATE as Purple Hawks are about to pounce with the final 15 minutes of this video heating up. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you and the American people, and I'm really excited for you on the fourth stimulus recon. It's the single biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this country. Everyone's getting checks that are generally viewers this channel 9 out of 10 times. I'll go over all the incredible details in this video. Then we cut to fifth stimulus, which heats up. But meantime, after this video's over, it'll automatically take you to the 1 o'clock afternoons LA. You don't have to lift a finger, sort of like Chuck Schumer. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube. Reckon I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. While on the campaign trail, the President of the United States promised to raise your benefits up if you're on SSI and SSDI. He did not deliver. So now the Democrat caucus is doing it for you. And that is just a few days away from now. It's called fifth stimulus. It starts in September with the legislative process of it starting in September. They represent that they'll start drafting in September, call for a vote in November, with the benchmark applying to your benefits in December for next year. Let's go over all the analysis starting right now. First, they'll raise your benefits up. Then they'll remove the asset limit. Add an inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over who this applies to starting right now. It applies to you. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, SSA, or multiple beneficiaries. Step 1, they'll raise your benefits up lifetime. Step 2, they'll apply a new benchmark. That new benchmark is inflation. Where is that inflation rate going to go? It's going to be transitory, says Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve. How high is it going to go? It's going to spike in December. Yes, right when they apply your benchmark. But what's the number going to be? I've been reporting, I'm thinking it's going to be about 5% inflation based upon economic indicators covered on this channel. 5% for a temporary spike in December, then coming back down. So how does this work? Step 1, they raise your benefits up. Then they apply the benchmark. And let's say if the benchmark is 5%, your benefits will step up another 5%. Incredible, great news. If the inflation rate is 2% the year after that, you'll be plus 5, plus 2%. Then they're going to move the asset cap, dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't have more than $3,000 in hand. Then they're going to move the income cap, preventing you from working and staying on benefits if you wish to work. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to go away. And you'll be able to do the pair dance at your wedding and no longer fear loss of benefits. And if your benefits were lost, they will be restored. Meantime, I know that a lot of you have been seeing a couple of articles out there talking about Social Security Administration indicating they're raising your benefits up next year 6%. That's based upon the current benchmark, COLA. The proposed legislation of this stimulus is to get rid of COLA and replace it with inflation. And you want that to happen because COLA is horrible. In the middle of a pandemic, 6% ain't any, oh, I almost cursed. 6% ain't anything. And that's after nothing last year. So that's where we currently are. They're trying to get rid of COLA and replace it with inflation. Meantime, if you waiting for a fourth stimulus check, well, those Democrats represent, they're going to give you fifth. That's in the fifth stimulus package they represent us next year. Finally, if you're in the live chat and you notice people have a purple hawk emoji and you don't have one, what are you doing? Join and become a member today. The link is under the video where it says join here. The join here link is under the video. Here's what you need to know is that purple hawks are killing it. And I'm really happy for you because in the last 7 days, I've seen a total realignment of people's approaches to the situation. When second stimulus was passed, it was a $600 stimulus check. I said, sure, there's a $600 stimulus check, but don't be focused on that. Don't be focused on that because I can get you $6,000. And that's how Tyrone got more than $6,000, $14,000, paid his rent from December all the way to March. Application based. During the commercial break, I saw one viewer post in the chat. I'm not going to say the name, but the person says, I don't know how these people are getting anything else because I don't work. I'm 65 and I don't qualify for anything. Wrong, wrong, and wrong. You do qualify for stuff if you are over 65 years of age, and you do qualify for stuff if you don't work. So don't take yourself out of the equation. That is anti-Purple Hawk. I don't qualify for anything. Just give me a check. 99% of the viewers of this channel qualify for things. And that's how I'm so excited about how Purple Hawks have realigned the focus. In January this year, I started Purple Hawks on this channel to describe people who pounce and get the big sums of money under the stimulus package. At that time, it was third stimulus package. $1,400 stimulus check. I said, sure, you're going to get $1,400. It's going to land. Don't focus on it because it's going to land and then you're going to spend it and say, where's the next check? Focus on the big sums of money that are application-based in the third stimulus package. And I said, I can get you $14,000. And now viewers are getting far more than that sums of money. Purple Hawks have understood that the biggest sums of money in these stimulus packages are application-based, getting $18,000, $7,000, $32,000, $50,000. They're becoming members and understanding that there are big sums of money in there. Daily, I deliver to members of this channel a breakdown of the big money in second stimulus, in third stimulus, and propose for fourth and fifth stimulus. So you pounce as a Purple Hawk. They're delivered from the YouTube community page from me to you daily. And there you go. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, starting right now with deal done. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people under the fourth stimulus recon. This week, the recon procedural passed the U.S. Senate. It now goes to the House. What's new on breaking news at noontime today? Number one, it's likely to pass with a blink of the eye. Yesterday, I reported that there was some resistance. I went back and looked at the article, and actually, the resistance was to do the roads and bridges before the recon. There was actually no resistance at all to the recon. So what's great news is that the recon procedure will pass the House with flying colors with a blink of the eye. Why? Because of what you saw earlier in this video. Democratic House members and senators were part of the discussion about the price tag of $3.5 trillion. And so they're going to pass the procedural in just a blink of an eye. Why am I so excited for my Purple Hawks about the $3.5 trillion recon? Because this is the biggest payout of checks for people of the American landscape that we've ever seen in the history of this channel. First stimulus was this big. Second stimulus was this big. Third stimulus was this big. Fourth stimulus was this big. And the prior stimulus packages were all generally for the U.S. businesses, corporations. This one is nearly entirely for the American people. Most of the money in there is application-based. And guess what? If you're a Purple Hawk and you've been pouncing and been getting $100, $10,000, $30,000 from the first, second, or third stimulus packages over the last few weeks, then you've learned the skill set to get the biggest payouts in these stimulus packages. They're application-based. And fourth stimulus is going to be mostly application-based, massive payouts. If you got $20,000 from third stimulus, get ready to get $50,000 from fourth stimulus. So here are some of the items that are proposed, but not actually law, for fourth stimulus, in addition to everything else that's been covered in this channel. Free school meals for all, checks. Cheaper prescription medication, checks. Immigration reform, checks. Farming, checks. Free internet, checks. Then lots of checks for workers and lots of checks for seniors. Worker checks if they're independent contractors, union checks, and then lots of checks for seniors. Checks for seniors, lowering eligibility age for seniors, checks for dental, checks for vision, and checks for hearing care. Here's how the federal government looks at you. The federal government says that, well, you got some bills, maybe 7 bills. You got rent, water, gas, electric, mortgage. And then you got the car in the driveway, and then you got a backpack you need to buy for the grandson. Federal government's not going to pay for the backpack. It's not going to pay for the car in the driveway. But the federal government will pay for the first 5 items. But they're not going to just send you a check because you have a donut in your hand and say, hi, where's my check for those first 5 items? I want $32,000 like those viewers of the channel got. I'm going to have my hand out and the donut's in this hand. I want that check to land there. Federal government saying, no, you got to apply. And that's how Purple Hawks are pouncing, because they're learning the skill set to really pounce and get this money. Application based. And if you got the big money under second or third stimulus, you're going to get even more under fourth stimulus. Let's go over the voting process. So recon procedural will land in the House. And recon procedural, again, only asks 2 questions. Price tag and the dedication of the money between the committees. Pass, done, easy, breezy. And then they go to recon substantive. Recon substantive. So let's go over dates. Now that we see, number 1, that the recon procedural will pass easier than we initially thought, let's go over the dates to understand when we get to recon substantive. So recon procedural is happening earlier than initially thought. Steny Hoyer gives us a firm date of August 23rd for the recon procedural vote in the House. That's earlier than initially represented. Great news. Number 2. Chuck Schumer gives us a firm date of September 15th for the recon substantive happening vote. This is great news as well. And why does the H have an asterisk next to it for House? Because there's a proposal that the recon substantive starts on the House level. OMG, I love that. Let me tell you why I love that. Because the legislation is starting in the subcommittees of the House, not the subcommittees of the Senate. Number 2. House members always give more money than senators. Number 3, the House is predominantly Democratic progressives, not Democratic moderates. And so progressives pay a lot more money. And number 3, finally, I like it starting in the House because the House members can give you more money, and then the senators can vote Rama, add more money on top of that. So I just like it starting on the House level first. Again, that's proposed. Number 3, last, 9:30 is a proposed, that's why it's an asterisk, is a proposed date to have the recon done by final vote. All right, then next topic of discussion is the substance. Now, while the recon has $3.5 trillion of checks in there for the American people, you need to still push purple power because these legislators have promised you a lot of stuff. You need to make sure they're spending the $3.5 trillion in the right places. On Thursday, I relaunched Seats for Stimulus. What Seats for Stimulus? It's a campaign I launched last year, a social media campaign that basically says, give us the right stimulus or we're taking your seat. At the time, they were trying to only give certain type of stimulus, not other types of stimulus. And guess what? It's working. You've been doing a great job on social media with the hashtag seats, the number 4, stimulus altogether. Why is this a big issue? Because if you watch broadcast media this weekend, the front page article is those 6 House seats. 6 House seats are up for grabs in the November election. And why is this huge? Because 6 seats could determine if the House falls to the Republicans or the House becomes more Democratic-led. Number 2, there's 34 seats of the 100 up for the Senate contention next year. So you have to push purple power with seats for stimulus. Finally, now we see how things are formulating. So we have the vote happening sooner than initially thought. Number 2, we have the vote going easy breezy, easier than initially thought. Number 3, we now understand as Purple Hawks that the big sums of money in these stimulus packages are application-based. And that when you start getting money application-based under third stimulus now in August, or now in July, or maybe you did it with me in December of last year, then you're getting ready for fourth stimulus. Because when fourth stimulus becomes law, the Purple Hawks, the viewers of this channel, will be ready to pounce and get the $3.5 trillion of checks. While the donut guy over there will be sitting and standing around saying, wait a second, you got $30,000 from third stimulus and now you're getting more money on a fourth stimulus? How come I'm not getting anything? I'm just eating a donut. Just eating a donut ain't going to get you money when a lot of the massive payouts are application-based. And when fourth stimulus becomes law, I'll make sure you get all the information and education as to how to get that money as well. But for now, push with Seats for Stimulus. Tag your Democratic politicians and progressives on social media. Share this video and tag your elected officials. Meantime, stay on this video because at 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is just about 45 minutes from now, Afternoons LALATE returns. Then the new Afternoons LALATE at 3 p.m. Both videos will automatically take you one to the next. You don't have to lift a finger, sort of like Chuck Schumer. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes. Stay informed, stay positive, stay focused. Have a beautiful noontime. Hope the weather's good where you are. And stay with LA for more.